there. So in this video I'm going to look at two things in the calculator. One being how do I find the intersection point between a set of lines, and then I'll focus heavily on inputting matrices in your calculator. So I'm looking at section 9.1 to 9.3. And you'll notice here in example 1, they want us to solve this system of equation by graphing. So the first thing you'd want to do then is solve both of these equations for y so that you can put them in your calculator. So I go to my calculator, in y equals, in y1, I put the first equation, which was x minus 5. Arrow down. In y2, I put in negative 2x plus 1. And then I can hit graph at this point. So I can see that the two lines intersect, so they do have a solution, because the points where they intersect is the solution. So to find that point in your calculator, you hit second trace, and number 5 is intersect. And then you'll see it's down here, it says first curve, so you'll see that my cursor is here on the blue line. I'll hit enter. Second curve, now my cursor's moved up to the other line, hit enter. Now it wants you to guess. I always like to do the guess, move my cursor, I'm just using my right arrow key, as close to the point as I can get it, and then hit enter. Don't take your answer until it says intersection, and so your intersection here is the point 2, negative 3, just like you saw it there in the notes, okay? Alright, so now I'm going to flip it on over much further to the end where we started talking about matrices and how to put those in your calculator. So, let's look at example 9, for example. That's a really good one to look at in the calculator. So, looking at example 9, I want to show how to put this in your calculator so that we get these results. So, going into my calculator, I can just clear that. Hit second mode to get out of there. The matrix, when the matrix functions in your calculator are second, and then you're hitting your x to the negative 1 key. This is right underneath math. So second and then x to the negative 1. You're going to right arrow over to edit, hit enter. Then you'll need to enter some dimensions. So there were two equations, and so we're doing the augmented matrix. So I'll show it to you. There are 2 rows and there are 1, 2, 3 columns. So I have a 2 by 3 here in my calculator. So I have 2, enter, 3, enter. Then it automatically creates the matrix here for me. So then you see your first entry was 1/2. You can type in 0.5 for that one, but you can also just type in 1 divided by 2. Hit enter. Then the next one you can type in 1 divided by 3. You'll notice here your calculator puts 0.333, but the calculator behind the scenes has all of the decimal points. It's not good for you to type in 0.3333. Okay, so be sure you let your calculator do the rounding for you. Okay, and so then you type in negative 2. Negative 2, hit enter. Takes you down to the next line, which will be 1/4. So I type in 1 divided by 4, hit enter. 2/3, 2 divided by 3, hit enter. And then negative 5/2, negative 5 divided by 2. Anytime you want a negative, always be sure you use your negative right here beside the enter key and not the minus sign. And then hit enter. Now you see that you've got the full matrix here. You're just going to hit second mode to get out of there. Now what needs to happen now is we want to RREF, the row reduced echelon form of that matrix. So you're going to hit second matrix, and then you're going to arrow over to math. Just arrow once to math. Then you're going to arrow down until you see RREF. And that's that one. Then you got to go back to second matrix, and you can just hit enter on A. If that's where you put yours, I put mine in A. Then hit enter. And so there you have it. Okay, so that's imagine a vertical line here. Now we're saying x is negative 2 and y is negative 3. So there's our solution. Let's see if I have one. Yeah, let's look at example 11. So example 11 right here. So this will be one of the special cases. Let's put that one in the calculator so you can see what your calculator looks like for an output of fractions. So I'm going to go back to second matrix, arrow over to edit, hit enter. This one is also a 2 by 3, so I can just enter, and I can just type over these values. So I have 3, enter, negative 1, 7, then it was 9, -3, and 21. Again, always pause the video if you need to catch up, okay? So now from here I'm going to hit second mode. Now, really what needs to happen is I want to RREF that matrix that I just did. So I'm going to go through the steps and I'll show you a shortcut. You can hit second matrix, arrow over to math, oops, arrow, right arrow, there we go, and then down arrow to your RREF, hit enter, and then second matrix, hit enter on A, and close parentheses. This is what I meant. Here I'm getting these fractions. Hit your math, enter button. There you go. So that's how I was getting my nice math, enter always changes decimals into fractions for you. Probably should have told you that one sooner if you didn't already know it. I'll be sure that I write that somewhere else. Math, enter changes you to fractions. And so this is our special case because down here if we draw a vertical line, I'm having 0 equals 0. That's a true statement. And so here you have your x minus 1/3 y equals 7/3. All right, and I'll talk more about that in the content video. All right, so I think that should do it for you in terms of entering matrices. What I was going to say before is if, let me go through this one more time. So if I hit second matrix, if I go over here to math and then I type in second matrix, keep hitting the wrong one, I'm not hitting the second, I guess, A. And let me just, and then what I'm going to do, so you know, I mean, you knew what was going to happen there. So let's say that I now go to math, second matrix, and I come over here to edit, 2 by 3, and let me just change one of these values down here. Let's just change that to a 4, and let's change this one to a -8. I have no idea what's going to happen. All right, so I've changed that here. So now I'm going to hit second, quit, get out of there. I want to RREF that one. I don't have to go through all those calculator steps. If you hit second, enter, that automatically pulls up RREFA, and so it's just your new matrix, and then you can hit enter. Okay, so here we know that x is 0 and y is -7. Okay, so I just wanted you to see that, you know, once you do these, you know, multiple times, you don't have to keep going through all those calculator steps, because getting to the matrix is unfortunately not it's a key that you have to hit second each time. So once you have, if you have the same matrix with the same dimensions, then you can just kind of go in and update the matrix and then hit second, enter, and that calls up, you want to RREF, and then you put in a new A, and then you can hit enter. Okay. Let me know if you need anything. Thanks a lot. Bye.